What's up guys, my name is Brock, you're watching The Modest Man, and today we're talking about 6 ways to speed up your morning routine. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you're just running late? You know, maybe you forgot to set your alarm, or maybe if you're like me, you just slept right through it. And it sucks, you know, I think everybody hates feeling rushed in the morning. And being late isn't an option. You know, you can't just show up late to work or to school or to the airport. So your only option is to take some shortcuts, you know, innovate, figure out some ways to speed up your morning routine. And that's what this video is all about. Okay, before we get into the tips, I want to thank my good friends over at Wall for sponsoring this video and for supporting The Modest Man. When Wall reached out to see if I'd like to partner with them, I said I would love to. And you know, you don't even have to send me any products because I've already been using one of your trimmers for the past 6 months. And they said, well, that's great, but we actually just came out with a new line of shavers that's even better. And they sent over a few to test out. And I gotta say, I've been loving these things. They're built to last, but compared to other brands, they're very affordable. And the best part is, or at least my favorite part, is that you can get them wet. You know, they're wet, dry shavers, so you can get them wet without worrying about frying their motors. Okay, so if you're in the market for an electric shaver, I can highly recommend checking out Wall, and big thanks again to them for supporting The Modest Man. All right, let's get into the tips. So the first 2 tips actually happen the night before. So tip number 1 is to lay your clothes out before bed. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, isn't that what my mom did for me in kindergarten? Yes, but there's a reason she did that, because it worked. And it still works as an adult, okay? So if you think about it, laying out your clothes before bed makes a lot of sense. I mean, why would you want to wake up and then the first decision you have to make is just what to wear? It doesn't really make sense. It uses unnecessary willpower on something that's kind of trivial. So I recommend just laying out your clothes, you know, making all these decisions the night before, and that way you don't have to think about it. It's just ready for you in the morning. So I do this every time I travel, okay? Especially if I have an early morning flight. I have my packed bags and then my entire travel outfit all laid out on the dresser, down to the accessories. So, you know, my shirt, pants, undershirt, underwear, watch, belt, socks, shoes, everything is laid out. I don't have to make a single decision about clothing or accessories in the morning. And it's awesome. You know, it's awesome just to have that done for you, even if it takes a little bit of extra work the night before. So actually, I think this is probably one of the simplest ways to speed up your morning routine. Just lay out your clothes before bed. Okay, tip number 2 is to prep your coffee maker. Now, this one only applies to those of us who partake in the consumption of the magical 100% legal drug known as caffeine. And if, like me, you do drink coffee in the morning, you can kind of automate this process. So basically, before you go to bed, you know, if your coffee maker has a timer on it, fill it up with water and coffee, and then set the timer so it starts brewing a few minutes before you wake up. If your coffee maker doesn't have the automatic timer function, that's okay. You can still prep it by just filling it up with water and coffee, and that way in the morning, all you have to do is just press the start button and then get on with your morning routine while your coffee is brewing. I love standing in the shower and knowing that there's freshly brewed coffee just waiting for me in the kitchen. All right, tip number 3 is to defog your mirror like a pro. Now, I know cold showers are all the rage right now, but personally, I like a hot shower. And hot showers mean a steamy bathroom and a foggy mirror. So there's a couple of things you can do to help mitigate this. Number 1, before you get in the shower, if you have a window in your bathroom, just crack it open a little bit. Okay, also open your door a little bit, and doing these 2 things will help reduce the amount of steam and condensation in your bathroom. Now, you're still probably gonna get some fog on your mirror, and the thing is, when you step out of the shower, the first thing you need to do is look in the mirror and, you know, shave or moisturize or get on with your routine. So what you can do here is get a blow dryer, especially if you're already using it on your hair, and point it at the mirror, and this will clear up the fog on your mirror in seconds. It's actually a really nifty little life hack, so definitely give it a shot next time you're staring at a foggy bathroom mirror. All right, speaking of shaving, tip number 4 is to use an electric shaver. Now, I know there are a bunch of different ways to shave, and I'm not saying that one method is better than another method, but you can't really argue that there's no faster way to shave than using an electric shaver. And the thing is, electric shaving technology has actually come a long way in the past few years. So you can actually get a very close, very comfortable shave in just a couple of minutes. I actually use an electric shaver exclusively. I haven't used a cartridge razor or any sort of shaving cream or shaving gel in about 6 months, and my skin looks and feels better than it has in a long time. But if you prefer a different method of shaving, I recommend at least having an electric shaver handy just in case you are running late. They're also great for travel. And I definitely recommend these Wall 7061 shavers. I love especially the fact that they have these little slide out trimmers, so you can just pop it out and then clean up all the little details like your sideburns or your mustache or, you know, whatever lines that you're trying to get really clean. And you literally just slide it out and then slide it back in when you're done. It doesn't get any easier than that. Okay, so tip number 4, shave faster with an electric shaver. Okay, tip number 5, master the faux shower. Now, sometimes when you're running really late, there's just no time for a regular shower, no matter how quick you are. So what you can do is either with a spray bottle full of water or just running your hair under your sink or under your faucet in the bathtub, just soak your hair and your face and really work your hair with your fingers like you're trying to rinse out the shampoo. Okay, so you want to get it wet as if you took a shower, and then towel dry it or blow dry it and style it as usual. Now for your body, get a deodorizing scented wipe like these Niche for Men wipes and just kind of cover your whole body, especially the areas that need some extra attention like under your arms. Now this method isn't quite as good as taking a shower, but it takes half as long, and I promise it actually works pretty well. So next time you're really in a time crunch, give the faux shower a shot. Okay, and tip number 6, keep a grooming go bag. So, you know, in action movies like The Bourne Identity or James Bond, the special agent always has like a duffel bag full of guns and cash and passports, like hidden under their bed, and it's just ready to pick up and go anytime in case they need to make a quick exit. I kind of do the same thing just with grooming products. So I keep a small DOP kit ready to go at all times, and it's got like travel size deodorant, a toothbrush, some floss, some face moisturizer, a little comb, and a travel size shaver trimmer ready to go at all times. This way, if I'm running really late and I don't even have time for a shower or any grooming at home, I can just grab the kit and then finish my grooming routine when I get to wherever I'm going. So you can even keep one of these at the office. You know, you get to work, throw your jacket down, throw your bag down, go right to the men's room with your DOP kit, and then, you know, shave, brush your teeth, floss, comb your hair, and all that stuff. It's not ideal, but it's better than the alternative, you know, which is just showing up to work looking like a mess. Okay, so it goes without saying that you should try to avoid running late in the morning. You know, set 2 alarms if you have to, but it's inevitable. You know, we're all gonna be running late at one point. So if that's the case, I hope that these 6 tips help you, and I'd love to hear your tips. So if you have any life hacks that you use to speed up your morning routine, please share them down in the comment section. And until next time, stay stylish.